and Jamie Cook is Corporate and Sustainable Transport. And I think Councillor Rachel Tripp and Jamie are online. Okay, before we start the meeting, I just want to say that we will be taking pictures, and there'll be a recording of this assembly as well. If you don't want to be seen on camera online, please switch off your camera. And if anybody in the room has any objection, please raise your hand now. Okay, so when they take a picture, you can either look away or you can please look down. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody settled in the room? If everybody want to wave to the camera, please, in the room. And hello, everybody online. Thank you so much for your time and coming to this assembly today. We really, really appreciate it. Okay, so it's our first People Powered Forest Gate meeting for 2022 to 2023. And my name is Jyoti Singh. I am your neighborhood manager. Okay, next please. Okay, before I go into schedule, I just say we are using quite a lot of technology today. There may be slight delay, and when we play any videos or anything, especially online, sometimes there's a flicker in the video. The online host called Suma, she will post the link in the chat, and you can watch the video in your own time. I do apologize in advance. Okay, so today's schedule is housekeeping, and then I'll introduce the local councillors. And also then we'll talk about what are People Powered Places and why we are here today. Following this, we'll have activity 1, which is like a warm-up activity, and also table introductions. Then our corporate director will be introducing the council's strategy and priorities. This will be followed by question and answer if we have any. We'll take kind of 3 questions. And then this will follow by activity 2. That's the most important part of this meeting today. There'll be a table discussion on the themes, which your table facilitators will present to you, and then we'll shortlist the themes, and then we'll vote on those top 3 priorities. Before we do anything, we will be using an online polling software, which is Mentimeter. I'll come to that in a minute. Then we'll introduce the working group members for this area, and Councillor Charlene McLean will be making the closing remarks. Okay, simple housekeeping and guidelines are: please listen to each other, be respectful. You don't have to agree. Share what comes to your mind. This meeting, like I said before, will be recorded or photographed. And the meeting is hybrid, so we have got you here and we have got people online as well. So we have got BSL Interpreter Arena here, and if you have got any other accessibility needs, you've got facilitators on your tables, please let them know. And online, if you please let the online host know. Facilitators in the room, please wave so that everybody knows you're here. Thank you. And we have a room team. Our room team is actually Jo. She's right at the back. I don't know if you can hear. And like I said earlier, we have got Mentimeter for voting. And if you require any support with the Mentimeter, please let your table facilitator know, or online, please let Kulsuma or Lisa know. Thank you. And enjoy being part of shaping your neighborhood. Thank you. Okay, any councillors in person? I can't see anybody in this. No, Councillor Tripp is online. Kulsuma, any other councillors online? Okay, Councillor Tripp, would you like to say a few words, please?
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me okay?
Yes, we can, thank you.
I'm so sorry not to be there in person. I've got another meeting which starts at 7:30, so I thought I would Zoom in as a kind of next best option. I can just about see the room full of people, but I can just imagine all of the residents who turned up to have their say today. So I'm really glad to see so many people. I'm really looking forward to hearing from everyone what their priorities are.
Thank you very much, Councillor McLean, and welcome, Councillor Charlene. Oh, sorry, Councillor Tripp, thank you, and welcome, Councillor Charlene McLean, thank you. And
Georgie, I think Councillor Vaughan is online.
All right, okay. I can't see, so please let me know. Councillor Vaughan, would you like to say a few words, please? Thank you, and introduce yourself.
Councillor Vaughan, are you there?
Maybe I can come back, Kulsuma, in case
No worries.
sometimes there's an issue with the sound or anything. Thank you. Okay, we're going to start with the video about people power. Okay, so we're going to play a video for you, a short video. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Councillor Charlene McLean. I'm the Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience, and I oversee People Powered Places, the new brand for the Community Assemblies. We're currently celebrating the end of the second cycle. There's been a wide range of projects, gardens, playgrounds, compostable toilet, and there's been all sorts of different ideas that people have come up with. As time's gone on, people have got more involved, and you can really see an excitement and a buzz amongst local residents.
I think it's definitely everyone's responsibility to get involved in local knowledge. At least you can bring your opinion and maybe even introduce something that just wasn't thought of before.
Platforms like the Assembly are really important because we're all part of this local community. I'm no less part of it by facilitating a project than somebody who's voted for a project and who comes along to the project. So there's a sense of cohesion.
We've evaluated the last two cycles and listened to people to see how we can improve. The cycle is going to be for 2 years next time around, because residents felt that they needed more time to develop their project and to deliver. We also introduced the Co-Create platform.
Newham Co-Create is Newham Council's online digital platform, and it's a way for us to extend our engagement online. It isn't replacing face-to-face engagement, it's just for us to extend it and to create a digital way for our residents to keep up to date with projects, to take part in engagement processes, to find out about the different consultation pieces that are happening in their neighbourhoods. We use it to recruit our working group members. We also use it to undertake our participatory budgeting exercise, which is voting online for the projects that residents want to see happen in their neighbourhoods.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. We're at Newham Leisure Centre right now, currently running one of our youth projects, Youth FC. It's a football project for young people aged 14 to 18 to come down, relieve some stress and play football.
I got involved because I found a great way to just socialise, have fun, just relax, that time away from studies and everything. In my opinion, keeping your mind on one thing constantly is never a good thing. It just puts my mind in a place where I don't have to think about anything other than playing football.
The name of our project is The Cleese. It's a drug curtailment and support for ethnic minority families. The Cleese is helping over 30 families.
heard about this project through Instagram, and since then I found someone that I've been able to talk to. It has made us realize that as a family we can get through this and there is help out there.
The project's called Generation East London, and it consists of 3 projects: the deaf awareness training, self-defense for deaf and hearing women, and BSL storytelling. They're new. They educate. So they educate the East Ham community about deaf awareness, deaf culture. So we want to make sure that the hearing community are including the deaf community.
It's called the Barber Connect project. So the idea is to network all these local barbers, then we can get all these young people engaged so I can impact them with this barbering skill as a business, and they could be responsible for themselves and for their future.
The name of this year's project is Welcome to the Channel Sea. It's a trio of 3 interlinked parts which aim to bring more people into the Longwall Ecology Garden. Anyone who walks along this path, which is many people every day, will benefit from the general care that we're providing for the space, keeping it clean and tidy.
We came up with the idea of the Neighbourhood Watch, try and use that as a way of giving people the confidence in their area again and just making people feel less comfortable committing crime. Things like fly tipping, things like vandalism, bring back that community feel and use the Neighbourhood Watch to actually say, you know what, there's a neighbour that can help you out, or there's somebody down the road who's looking out for you, to essentially make people feel safer.
Our project is called Ashok's Vision International, and it's a youth-led nature and biodiversity project where young people come and help improve the community spaces and green spaces. Research suggests there is a clear link between nature and mental well-being. So having to look after plants, it's so important for young people to have access to these type of activities.
We were discussing potential projects that could benefit the community, and this was certainly a project that was in the back of all of our heads. What it is developing the local park area near Warrior Square. It's been disused for quite a while, it's been in urgent need of repair. So we know that by developing it, by improving it, it's going to invite a lot more families to play games and just engage with the rest of the community.
So next year's will be bigger and better. There'll be more participants, there's more time, there's more money, so that people can really get involved and make a difference in their local communities.
It's very important for the community to initiate different projects. There is a sense of ownership when it's community-led, which leads to success.
You don't know how much your idea may benefit someone until it's in place. Definitely 100% go for it.
Projects have an impact on how Newham is shaped as a borough, and that's the beauty of Newham. It's like a vision that we have where we just continue growing and evolving and bringing new people into the idea of why residents should be involved in community engagement.
Thank you, Chris. Hope everybody enjoyed that video. So, okay, let's move on. Okay, what are people powered places? So people powered places, these were previously called community assemblies. So this gives Newham residents to make positive changes together in their local area. We are one of the large participatory budgeting program in the country, so which we're very proud of. And Newham has got 8 community neighbourhoods, and Forest Gate is one of them. Each neighbourhood has been allocated 200,000 funding to spend on local projects that local people will put forward in the next 2 years, which is 2023 to 2025. Anyone who lives, works, or learns in community neighbourhood can participate in it. So where does this money come from? It comes from Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy. So what is NCIL? It's charge on the new developments in the area, and it helps to fund the strategic and neighborhood infrastructure in Newham. So the criteria for projects and NCIL-funded projects are projects that help with the development and growth of the area, projects that improve our public spaces and infrastructure, and projects that improve the health and happiness of the local community. So where are we today? Today is our first meeting. We are going to decide on the local priorities. Then the next meeting, it will be you discuss the solutions to improve your area. You come up with project proposals to receive funding. So residents can apply for up to £5,000 and local organisation can apply up to £20,000. Then you vote for your favorite projects, and then successful projects are delivered by residents, and which will start from January. And then we celebrate our achievements. So we'll show you this on a cycle. So as you can see where we are in May 2023. And then in June, July, we're going to have another meeting, which will be where you find the solutions or you come with different ideas. And then 20th of June to 3rd of September is when you can put in project applications. So in October, there will be a vote, and in November, we'll announce the successful projects. So because of popular demand and the feedback we had received from everybody, this is now a 2-year cycle as opposed to an annual cycle we have been having. So year 2 will be that we start delivering our projects from January 2024, and then we finish them by the end of annual year, May, June 25, when we'll have a celebration event. So most of you are very familiar with Forest Gate North and Forest Gate South. I'm sure a number of you know that we have got another ward now, which is Maryland Ward. Chris, you can move on up. And we had some really good projects coming up from Maryland. So thank you to all the residents in Maryland as well. So this is the very briefly local information. 3 wards, the local population is 41,000 plus, which is quite a huge population. As you can see from the pie chart, it's very diverse population here. And generally, very good health. And also, you can see the 90% plus population is under the age of 65. So we have got really, really young population. So why are we here today? Here, the first thing is you can meet your neighbors or local organization and the groups who work in this area. You can learn about the council's priorities and discuss matters that affect the whole community, and vote to finalize the 3 most important priorities for Forest Gate and Maryland. So there's a mistake there, sorry about that. So activity 1, introduce yourself. That is, we'll give you kind of 3 minutes to introduce yourself. Then activity 1 is say one thing you love about your neighborhood. So this is 1 word only. So your table facilitators will be adding your replies, which will show on a word cloud. And then followed by another activity, again, we'll give you 2 minutes. You can say one thing you would like to change about your neighborhood. So first you introduce yourself, then say one thing you love about your neighborhood, and then one thing you would like to change. I'm passing on to your table facilitators or online host, please. Thank you. Really good feedback. And now we'll go back to activity 1B. What would you like to change in this neighborhood? So you again have got 2 minutes for that, please. Thank you. Lack of police, streets, too much traffic, stronger local businesses, and one more, nothing for the elderly. And please speak to your library team. A lot of activities go on in the library and in the neighborhood. We can give you all that information. Thank you everybody for your input. Let's have a round of applause. Okay, next I'm going to I'm going to invite Jamie Cook, our CMT lead, Corporate Director of Environment and Sustainable Transport. He's going to talk you through NEOM's priorities. But before I pass it on to Jamie, we're going to play a very short video for you. Thank you.
Newham is one of the fastest growing, young and diverse boroughs in the country.
Apologies, everybody.
Newham is one of the fastest growing, young and diverse boroughs in the country. We have over 351,000 people living in Newham and are the third fastest growing borough in London. Over 7 in 10 residents are from Black, Asian and ethnically diverse communities. We are at the heart of a new inclusive economy. We are home to international districts like Stratford and the Royal Docks. Stratford has become the busiest station in the UK. We now have the third highest rate of jobs growth in London. However, we have deep-rooted inequalities. A quarter of our neighbourhoods are the most deprived in the UK. After housing costs, almost half of our residents live in poverty. The cost of living emergency will disproportionately hit our residents. But we can build on the solidarity of our partners and communities, mobilising cross-sector organisations to deliver over 200,000 parcels to those who cannot afford to get food, working with businesses to increase the number becoming London living wage employers, getting people to pledge their commitment to improving people's health and well-being via our 50-step strategy. We are focusing all our energy as a council to build a fairer Newham. We have developed 8 priorities to support residents through tough times and live happy, healthy and well. What will this mean for residents? We are already starting to deliver on these new priorities. For example, providing over £250,000 of assistance to families with food and energy, and securing £600,000 to help residents get their benefits. Expanding our team of community safety officers to keep people safe. Agreed for £1.2 million to invest in children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities. Providing over £800,000 of grants to grassroots projects through our community assemblies. Launching a cost of living crisis response to work collectively across the borough to support our residents during these hard times. Examples of what we'll deliver over the next 4 years include delivering another 1,500 social rent homes our residents can afford as part of a £2 billion investment in housing delivery. Developing family hubs to provide wraparound support for families. Investing £40 million in the coming 4 years to keep our streets and neighbourhoods clean for our residents. Pilot Stratford as a green zone to model an environmentally sustainable neighbourhood and develop our first green budget. Develop a network of data economy hubs in delivering our Newham Sparks vision. Find out more at our Building a Fairer Newham webpage.
Thank you, Chris. And to elaborate on that further, may I please invite Jamie Cook. Jamie is online. Kusuma, if you can please highlight Jamie. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person this evening, but it's absolutely brilliant to see so many of you there in the room. I just wanted, first of all, having just seen the video, just to talk a little bit more about Newham's priorities. So Newham has a strategy for 2022 to 2026, and that is about building a fairer Newham. That strategy is all contained within our corporate plan. Building a fairer Newham has 8 priorities that the council focuses on in terms of everything that we do. First one of those is a healthier Newham and people ageing well. The second one is Newham's inclusive economy to support you in these difficult economic times. The third is about your neighbourhood. The fourth is safer Newham. The fifth is concerned with homes for our residents. The sixth is about supporting our young people. The seventh is people-powered Newham and widening participation, which is very much, of course, what we're talking about this evening. And the eighth is about a campaigning council. Now, from these 8 priorities that are outlined in the corporate plan, we've chosen 6 themes that have been identified for people-powered places, and what we want to talk about this evening and the choices we would like to make, or you would like to make, in terms of prioritisation of those local priorities for you. Now, the first one of the 6 is concerned with health and well-being. So unfortunately, people in Newham have poor health outcomes in the population overall. Therefore, this theme is very much concerned with improving health and social care, tackling health inequalities, and responding to the cost of living crisis. It also includes topics like life expectancy, loneliness and isolation, ageing well, and mental health. The second theme is around inclusive economy. Newham's employment rate is lower than that of the rest of the UK, and therefore this theme includes inclusive economic growth, improving the quality of life for everyone, supporting local businesses and creating accessible learning opportunities and job opportunities. It also includes topics like financial well-being and food security. The third theme is about environment and public spaces. Unfortunately, air pollution in Newham is worse than anywhere else in London. So therefore, this theme includes making our neighbourhoods quieter, safer, and importantly, cleaner, and responding to the climate emergency. It also includes improved public spaces, which includes parks and green spaces, community gardens, and reducing fly tipping and air pollution. The fourth theme is about community safety. There's been a substantial drop in the proportion of people that feel safe in Newham. This theme includes improving women's safety, tackling the root causes of crime and antisocial behaviour, raising awareness around hate crime and women's safety. It also includes building trust and accountability in community safety services and improving the feeling of safety during the day and night, and that includes in parks and open spaces as well. The fifth theme is around youth empowerment. Newham is a very young borough and actually has the second youngest age profile of any borough in London. Over 9 in 10 are aged under 65, which is actually very unusual for a local authority. This theme includes enabling all children and young people to reach their potential, to be safe, happy and healthy, regardless of their background. It also includes youth safety, activities for children and young people, play, school readiness and high quality childcare. The final and sixth theme is around community development and participation. Around a quarter of our residents agree they can influence decisions in their local area. This includes increasing people's involvement and sense of belonging to the local community, improving the sense of getting on well together, being satisfied with the area and increasing participation. It also includes topics like volunteering, culture, interfaith and intercultural dialogue. So having discussed those 6 priority themes, this is where things become really exciting and really interesting. You will now be invited to discuss those 6 themes and shortlist the ones that you think are the most important for your area. Then you will vote on your top 3. The 3 themes most voted on will become your local area priorities for the next 2 years of the programme. All projects that will be submitted to receive funding will need to meet at least one of the priorities that you've identified. Residents will be able to apply for up to £5,000 for their projects, and local organisations will be able to apply for up to £20,000 to address the local priorities. So just before we move on to that activity 2, and start that prioritisation process, I'm just going to pause and see if anyone would like to ask any questions at all.
Any questions in the room, please? If you do have one, please put your hand up. Okay, we have got 3 people, 3 questions in the room, Jamie.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. Just under health and well-being, just want to bring up one question. This library actually supports a lot of young people and elderly as well, every day of the week doing exercise. I just wondering, could anyone explain why they've had to take away the funding for April, where so many people actually come here for socialisation and avoid loneliness and things like that, and help with health and well-being?
Okay, thank you for the question. I would need to take that away to get you a full answer on that, and I'm very happy to do that and write back with a response.
Hi. Regards to air pollution, I'm sure everyone will agree, and I'm sure you will too. The air pollution in Newham and in London is really horrible and bad, and it's killing everyone. Now, the thing is, I do know that Newham Council have already started blocking off a lot of the school areas, so it makes it easier for children to cross and live a safe life. Unfortunately, there are many schools still not included in this strategy. I'm wondering why, because those schools are the worst polluting. Because there's people coming from all over the London, coming into Newham, coming into these schools, using our resources, using our roads, polluting the streets, killing people in Newham. And that's not fair, that's not on. We should be blocking those streets off, make it harder for drivers, make it more difficult for drivers. If there's 2 cars in a house, we should be banning them. Never mind asking them to pay more, because when you ask people to pay more, they can afford it. There's too many people who can afford to, if you're a driver, you can afford it. It's the poor people who suffer, and that's what we've got to make sure we tackle. So it's the schools, and around the schools, we need to make sure we put a cordon off, not just the 1 hour that we're talking about, maybe longer hours, so it stops those cars coming into the borough, into the school areas and trying to kill people, whether physically killing them or through the air, killing everyone in the borough. And that's what we're going to have to suffer with, and we're going to have to live with it for the next foreseeable future if we don't stop it now. This is a priority.
Thank you. Jamie, over to you, please.
Thank you, sir. Some very interesting points you've raised there. And as you say, it is a priority, and it is indeed a priority for our elected members, and is something that is very much part of the corporate delivery plan and the 6 priority things I was discussing earlier. We have over 20 healthy school streets in the borough at the moment. And as you've pointed out, they very much demonstrate not only a reduction in road traffic incidents and therefore an improvement in safety, but also an increase in air quality and an increase in the number of children and young people that are using sustainable modes to travel to school because they feel safer in those locations. We are looking to take forward an additional 15 healthy school street sites in the very near future, and it is the administration's priority to get as many schools as possible as part of the Healthy School Streets programme. Occasionally, we're unable to put a school in the programme simply because it's on a very busy main road where we can't do that. But in those kinds of situations, we look to do other things. And a recent example of that is one particular school we had where we actually realised that the school playground was closer to the polluting road than the car park was. And so we worked with the school to switch those 2 sites around to move the children further away from the pollution, and also put some trees in there as well to catch the pollutants to stop those from getting to the area where the children was. Thank you very much indeed for your points. And I'd always be happy to speak to you further about those in the future and to let you know how the Healthy School Streets programme is progressing.
Thank you, Jamie. Anybody else in the room now, please?
Yes, I'd like to totally or nearly totally oppose what this gentleman has just said. I live in an LTN for the last 2.5 years. It has totally destroyed people's lives, businesses, access. The charges have been abhorrent. People have lost friends because of it. It's been a social disaster. And you can't tell me, who's lived here for 23 years, that we even had traffic problems in Newham area attached to Walthamstow. All right, thank you. It's got to go, and as soon as possible, before it goes lower Woodgrange Road down to Barking Road. It's got to be rethought and soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. But very happy to
question
take
in the
those
room,
on
please.
board. Just briefly respond, if I may. I think when we look at the low traffic neighbourhoods, we're always very happy to take on board, comments through consultation. And indeed, we do alter our schemes as a result of those. So thank you very much. And I would always encourage residents to take part in those consultations, because we very much look at that feedback and we do alter our programmes in accordance with what our residents are telling us.
That's another thing. In terms of the Wood Grange LTN, we, the residents, have to get together to oppose the LTN itself. I think what was happening in this air quality stuff, I disagree with that gentleman over there, and I agree with you. If you're going to stifle traffic in one area, you're going to increase it somewhere else. How does that improve where those other people live? You understand? So if you're talking about air is infinite. Air always moves. So the more flowing traffic you got, obviously the air is going to move with it. You can't just stop air going from one place and going to another place.
Thank you for the questions. Over to you, please, Jamie.
Thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Air will move around where it wants to and doesn't restrict itself to those boundaries. The LTNs are a very complex and in-depth topic. Overall, we feel that the benefits outweigh what are perhaps some of the disadvantages. We know that when we have LTNs, we get a reduction in overall traffic, overall speed, overall casualties, and an increase in air quality. We also get other benefits, such as an uptake in active travel and actually a reduction in fly tipping in some areas as well. So we know there are an awful lot of benefits. We're also as I said earlier, we're very mindful that there are many different views. We've just had the consultation into areas 5 and 6. And there's lots of information that's come back from that. So actually discussing it with colleagues earlier today, and we will be, potentially looking to make adjustments where we can, based on the information that our residents have given us.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Any questions online, please?
Yes, we do. Amritpal?
Hi, thank you for that. So I'd more a comment than anything, but I'm actually really impressed with the idea of popular living. My understanding is that it's a developer owned by Newham Council doing private developments, but then the profits go into social housing. And if I'm broadly right in that, I think that's a really brilliant initiative. I came across the flats across Plaistow going home one day, and they look really good. So it's really nice to see Newham building high quality housing, and while it might not always be affordable in the private developments, let's turn into social housing. It's definitely much needed. I'm 25, so a lot of my friends are desperately looking for places where they're not going to get kicked out being renters, and but those sorts of developments are always really kindly looked upon by people my age group. So that was more of a comment than a question, but if you're doing more of it, it would be great to hear about it.
Thank you very much indeed. I will pass your comments and feedback on to the Chief Executive of Popular Living. I'm sure there will be more plans for those kind of developments. It's really good to be able to get that feedback from you. I work a lot with Popular Living in my role, looking after environment, in terms of the allowing those developments and facilitating them through the transport network. So it's really good to hear that feedback, and I will pass that on.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Any further questions online?
No, that's it. Thank you, Jyoti.
Thank you very much. And may we have a round of applause for Jamie and all our residents who have asked some really valid questions. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have activity 2, which is where we need all your support. So this is to discuss what you would like to prioritize in your local area. So this is how the activity goes forward. You've got table facilitator and online, your online facilitators. They're going to explain to you the 6 priorities that Jamie just spoke about, and whether that is something you would like to prioritize in your area. And online facilitators will show you online on their screen, where in room we have got printed sheets like this as well, and we have got cards on there as well. So if you feel like that some of the themes are missing, you can add one blank card and discuss it collectively on your table. But please make sure it doesn't overlap. So when you look at the cards, most of the priorities or themes are actually covered, what you want to discuss. Only if it doesn't, then you can put in a blank card. Once you've discussed each of the theme, I'll request you to shortlist 3 themes collectively on your table, and those 3 themes will be put forward. If all residents in person and online choose the same 3 themes, they will go forward. If not, all shortlisted themes will be put forward to voting stage. So choose, and at the end of it, choose one person from your table to feedback, and please 1-minute feedback only, because we'll have another activity after that. To reiterate, please choose 3 themes, and those will go forward. We'll collect them from each table, and they'll go forward for voting. And then everybody will get a chance individually to vote on them. So this is one collective exercise. This will be followed by voting where you can individually vote. So you have got 25 minutes to discuss all the priorities, and then we'll come back to you. And online, please carry on. You've got 30 minutes. Thank you. And we'll come back to you, and then we'll come back for 1-minute feedback. Good luck, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy. Good luck, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I think there's some really good discussions that took place online and in person. So we're going to start taking feedback whilst my colleague Chris looks at all the priorities that need to go forward for voting, unless you have selected top 3 in one go. Thank you. Kulsuma, who is going to give us some feedback online, please? Thank you.
Did we get a chance to pick who's going to speak?
In room, everybody, may I have your attention? We are going to have feedback from everybody online. Thank you. Kulsuma, please go ahead.
Thank you. Amritpal is going to be speaking on behalf of the group.
Hi, so we agreed youth empowerment, inclusive economy, and community development. That was what we voted for together, the 3 of us.
Okay, thank you very much. Kulsuma, you want to add anything to that?
I think Lisa would be best because she was part of the discussion. Lisa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
Lisa.
Yeah, no, nothing to add. Just really good discussion and already thinking about projects. So, so great to reach those 3.
Thank you, everybody online. We will start with the last table, Zach's table. Anybody for feedback, please? Just 1 minute.
Yeah, very productive conversation on our table. I think it was 4 themes that was kind of, we were talking about a lot, and just kind of looking at how it kind of overlaps. And one of the main ones that we're all agreed on the table, which was health and well-being. That was for definite. There was conversation and kind of hands-off thoughts around the environment and community safety as our kind of the 3 themes. But we also added extra one, which was community development as well. So they were in between those.
Thank you very much, Zach. I could see that on your table. It took a few minutes for everybody to say, yes, these are the top 3 priorities. Thank you. Sandra, your table 5, please. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So we had a really good conversation. We thought all of the themes were really important, so it was definitely quite hard to pick. But we went with health and well-being, inclusive economy, and environment and public spaces. So for example, we talked a lot about unemployment and youth unemployment. So that seemed really important within inclusive economy.
Thank you very much. Okay, CG, your table, who is providing the feedback. May I remind everybody to introduce their name, please, and stand up whilst you're providing feedback. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Claire, and yeah, we had a good discussion about, as Sandra said, that all of these priorities, without exception, are important. I think we were broadly aligned, though, in the sense that we chose priorities that we felt benefited all sectors of society rather than focusing on one age group or another. So health and well-being, obviously that impacts everybody. Environment and public spaces, that's something that Forest Gate already does well, and it would be great if we could kind of put more energy into it and really excel in that front, and community safety, which I think without fail, everyone feels that this could be make Forest Gate a much better place. So that's
Thank you very much. Thank you. Aidan, on your table.
Hello everyone, I'm Stella. We had a great discussion on our table. We all agreed that health and well-being was a key priority because it crosses ages and generations and communities. We also opted for inclusive economy because we thought that financial well-being leads to a more positive experience of life, more control in your life. And then we went for community development and participation because we thought it could span a manner of different areas and genres to help people within the community.
Thank you, Stella. Really useful. Thank you. Lynette, your table. Thank you. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Bill. We thought that health and well-being was the cornerstone without which some of the other five wouldn't be quite so important. But we also chose community development and participation and community safety. We had a very energetic discussion, and we began to push some of the other ones backwards because we thought they might just be included in the three that we'd chosen.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you. And now the last table, who's going to?
Okay, hi, my name's Delita. We had a very healthy conversation, and we've decided that first things first, health and well-being. And under that comes the heading that we've got to basically raise the consciousness and the awareness of hidden disabilities, dealing with all the health issues that we can. Drugs and mental health were top issues as well. Dementia, and also daycare services have fallen behind. The next thing, so that was health and well-being. Next thing was youth empowerment, and we looked at that there should be more opportunities for young people, training in transferable skills, leadership skills, and decent pay for the London living wage. We also felt the affordability for young people for housing, and a crime, bring back our youth centres, which have all disappeared. The next thing we looked at was saying community development and participation. There should be an outreach for the following group of people: the marginalised, homelessness, mental health issues, and unemployment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you everybody for your feedback. And this is really, really useful. We have looked at all the envelopes and online feedback and the three selected themes from online. So that means all the 6 themes are going to go forward for voting. So now we come to the voting, and We need to use a system called Mentimeter, as I mentioned earlier. So if you need help with that, please let the table facilitators know. And the code is going to be there. So you can use that code, you can use your personal devices, and you can go to menti.com. Just put in Google Menti code, or you can go to menti.com, and if you put that code forward, then you will get the selection of 6 priorities. Please vote for the top 3 priorities that you want to select. Please note an individual vote. Okay? Is that to everyone? Yeah, we're just getting it back on the screen. Just give us 2 seconds, please. Okay. On the screen, it says menti.com, and your code is 73254287. And please note, you can only vote here, and you have got 4 minutes, please. Please go to menti.com. Okay? And if you need any support, let us know. For it to start. Thank you. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready online?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's see what the system says. Okay, so top 3 priorities for Forest Gate and Maryland are health and well-being, community development and participation, and community safety. So thank you to everybody who has voted for it. That's really, really good. So can we repeat again? I'll just show you the Mentimeter result now. Okay, you can see number 1 is health and well-being, and it's way, way ahead of everything else. And community development and participation in number 2, and 3rd is community safety, followed very closely by inclusive economy and youth empowerment, and the last is environment and public spaces. Thank you to each and every one of you to participate and give us these results. So these are the 3 priorities which will go forward and against which the project application will be submitted. Thank you. Okay. If you move on now. Okay. So I'll pass you on to Lynette now very quickly, who has worked very hard selecting the Forest Gate and Maryland Working Group.
Hi, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today and your opportunity to have your say. I'm now going to introduce you to the working group members. Are there any working group members here? Yes, we've got quite a few of you. Can you all stand up, please? Can you give them a round of applause? Do we have any online? Do you have
Yes,
any online?
we do. Yes.
Oh.
Hamza.
Hamza?
Hi there.
Thank you very much for volunteering to be our support during this process. These working group members are volunteering their time. They will be helping to decide what projects go forward of all the submissions, and they will be working with us to monitor the projects, and they will be giving up their free time to come and sit in meetings, to have discussions. It would be really good if you could all introduce yourself to each other before you leave here today, and we will shortly let you know when the next meeting is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lynette. Yeah, and we have got our youngest member in of working group member, Hamza. He's 17 years old, So we welcome him to our team. Thank you so much, everybody. And before I pass you on to Councillor Charlene McLean, I've got just very quick announcement to make that Glynette, our senior officer for many, many years, is going to go on a secondment for a year. So I wish Glynette all luck, and I will really miss her, and I'm sure the local community will miss her as well. But it's only for 1 year, and I'm really hoping Glynette will then be back. Glynette, you want to say something?
Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time here in Forest Gate. I really love Forest Gate. I love the vibrancy, I love the diversity, I love the proactivity, I love the fact that you guys have got some zazz about you, and I'm going to miss that. But I'm sure you're going to do fantastically well during this next phase.
Thank you very much. 3 cheers for Glynette. Thank you, Glynette. Okay, I'm going to pass you on to Councillor Charlene McLean now to say the closing remarks, please. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jyoti. Can you all hear me okay? I've had terrible internet problems this evening. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much to everyone that's attended this evening. It's been really interesting, and the discussions online have been great. I'm quite surprised actually that what was the 6th choice? What was it? Environment and public spaces, because previously those sort of issues were higher up in the priorities of Forest Gate, but it just shows that things change, and I'm sure if people have project ideas that they'll be able to potentially fit them into one of the other priorities that were selected, because they are sort of interchangeable and quite connected. So I just wanted to take this opportunity just to thank everyone for attending in the room, and for those that are online with myself. It's good that the people-powered places are hybrid. So, if you're unable to attend, you can still take part in making a change in your community. Just a couple of last thank yous for the working group members. And yeah, we were speaking with Hamza online, and I'm really excited that there are some younger people that are involved in the process, because the community is for everybody, and it's really good to have that input. So another round of applause to Hamza, being our youngest member. And also just a last thank you to the officer team, who I know worked really hard at pulling this all together. It is a difficult process, but I'm really excited to see what projects come out from this neighbourhood for people-powered places. So have a safe journey, those who are there, and those who are already at home. You're lucky like me. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, with that we come to the end of this assembly. But before you go, please save the date for our next assembly, which is going to be on the 3rd of July, same time at Forest Gate Library and online. And it will be our solution, where we will be creating ideas for these top 3 priorities. And project application will open from 20th of June to 3rd of September. So any groups, if you're here, or any residents who want to put the application forward, please start thinking it now. And please, we really need everybody's feedback to make this process better, to see how we are doing. So please either have a paper copy, but we'd rather have your feedback online. There is a QR code on your tables. Just scan that and you can give your feedback. So sometimes people get confused on the survey questions. So first question is, which venue did you attend? Just put Forest Gate Library. Which type of event and activity did you attend? Consultation. Which type of consultation or community forum did you attend? You can put community assembly. So thank you, everybody. Please don't leave without this feedback. I once again say thank you to all of you, my colleagues, table facilitators, online facilitators, all the councillors, and Jamie for your time. Thank you. And a huge round of applause for each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you, Arena. Forgot Arena. Thank you.